Hello and welcome, sir. Sir, I'll start with my first question. It's about key takeaways from today's event. What's your key takeaways from today's event?
I think today's event is about learning as an educator, to be a student as an educator. I think that's the most important thing. And I think I love coming to opportunities like this, where, of course, with Business World, it's always a prestigious event over here. The who's who of the industry is here. There are amazing people who are innovators, startups over here. So it's a great learning opportunity, listening to the panelists, to hear the speeches, to meet innovators. And sometimes it's important that industry and education schools and all collaborate more. I've always been saying that because edtech companies and education suppliers cannot work in isolation, and schools are in isolation if we're not working together. We need to be more collaborative, and I think that opportunities like this I hear are a really good way to meeting the humans behind the brands, meeting the people, and creating opportunities for collaborations as well. So I think a lot of learning over here. It's a time well spent from with formal learning as well as informal learning as well. So yeah.
So as you know, there is a lot of discussion is going on regarding AI. So how do you see the role of AI in education?
AI is of course a game changer. I think I believe in my lifetime, I think internet was the first step. Second was a mobile phone. Third is AI. I think it's the biggest shifter in terms of how we live our lives. It's going to be a game changer. So in education, what is our role? I mean, one is to prepare our children for a world where AI will be doing a lot of things which are there. So what kind of careers would work? How do you leverage this powerful tool is going to be very, very important. So schools will have to start, and colleges will have to start changing based on AI. You cannot now ask questions which an AI, a chat GPT can answer. I mean, that's now irrelevant because he'll have this tool when that person goes into the workplace. So why are we for asking questions which AI tool? That's not a skill set that any workplace, any company would expect people to know. So I think AI will influence. One of the biggest way is to create, I believe, personalized learning journeys for every child. So it will be like a GPS, a guided personalized system, where, because there's so much data being captured now, based on the data, what do I need as to live a fulfilling life? Not just learning. I think everyone, you, me, everyone, we're going to have our own kind of dashboard of life powered by everything. So if you're interested in cricket, for example, so you might have cricket kind of concepts taught in the cricket manner as well. And I don't believe learning will happen with technology. So this will empower the teachers. Now, teachers' role will become like data analysts, to look at data and for their classes, for their students, and motivate them, coach them. A pat on the back by a teacher is very different from well done from a pop-up on an app. So I think AI is going to create those personalized learning journeys. Right now, it's a one-size-fits-all education system. Everyone goes to the same lessons, same questions are asked, same class 12th exam, and we rank our children based on abilities and say, tum nalayak ho, tum intelligent ho. It's stupidity, and for every aspect, every human being has different internal wiring, different future ahead of them, different skill sets, different interests, different weaknesses. That has to break, and I think AI is the right platform. Earlier, it was not possible because of economics, but now AI will make learning equitable. It will make access to education very equitable, because there is no incremental cost of a new login is very minimal. And I think that is the biggest game changer. So I think equity as well as personalization is going to change education. And the role of schools and colleges will change from custodians of knowledge to being more like community centers. And learning will not be 0 to 12 school, 12 to 18 or 21 is in college. I think learning is going to be lifelong. And the schools will be community centers for the whole community, because you and I will have to keep learning, unlearning. And technology alone will not help you. You need a human being to motivate you, to guide you. So that's where I think schools and colleges will change. I think it's going to be a big game changer of how schools, I'll say, were. Because right now, we are so outdated as a school system that we are teaching a 19th century curriculum taught by 20th century adults for 21st century human beings. It is completely messed up. And AI is going to change that.
Sir, my next question to you is, how do you think the changes can be done to shift the mindset of students from rote learning to make them more employment ready?
I think the focus on rote learning is purely by the fact that we don't have an alternate way of judging our children. So for us, memorization and give an exam is the only alternative for lack of a better fair way of assessment. So, you know, can you assess somebody through interviews, through other? Yes, you can, but it's not fair. There'll be always subjectivity, biases, preferences can all come in. So right now, the best and the fair way is a test. And the only way you ace a test is by memorization. So if that is a question, okay, I'm going to judge you on memorization, then you will say, okay, then I'll do rote learning, because that's the only question. You're not asking me, am I a good human being? मैं अच्छा बच्चा हूँ या नहीं हूँ? Do I care for my parents? Do I respect my elders? Am I a good friend to my friends? उस पर तो कोई judge नहीं कर रहा. So my behavior is not aligned to that. That is why from class 6, 5 we tell our children, वो कुएं में कूदेगा तुम भी कूद जाओगे. That's the kind of parenting we have. I think we are all so focused as a society on a very short-term goal. What is the purpose of rote learning? To ace the exam. Why acing the exam? To get into a good college. Why get into a good college? So you get a good placement. Just that. But what about life is much more than that. So I think we need to be aware as a society that you know the dialogue, "Abba मैं पैसे कम कमा लूँगा but खुश रहूँगा." In Three Idiots, it's a very important line. It's a very important line, and it did make a difference. We need more examples like that in popular media as opposed to movies like Animal, which are totally destroying the fabric of a society. So I think we need to start as a society understand what do we want for our children, encourage our children not to focus on marks. AI is going to break that. Right now, kids are asking, why should I go abroad and spend 2 crore rupees of my parents' hard-earned money for a degree in US, where I could learn the same thing on a Udemy 549 rupees course. I can learn the same concepts, and the 2 crore rupees I can put in my own startup. So kids are today asking the utility of higher education. Higher education is already facing that challenge. Schools will also face that challenge. So we have to change ourselves as institutions to acknowledge that this is where the world is going, and we need to be more adaptable. Otherwise, we'll become like dinosaurs as schools. So rote learning, it will change. I think parents need to understand that they need to let the children experiment. In the last century, it was always doctor, engineer, या गोलगप्पे वाला. You had 3 career options in your life. ये बन जा नहीं तो ये बनेगा. Now these kids don't. I mean, you will get a job in a call center for 30,000 rupees, no matter how bad you are. उनको लोग नहीं मिल रहे. So you have a safety net as a generation. Why aren't you taking more risk? Why, as a parent, ask yourself, why aren't my children taking risks? We need to be more risk prone. We need to allow our children to fail, take risks, and celebrate failure as well. That is why, with so many IT professionals lacks, we've yet to create we only create a handful of world-class products, because we are all like safety. बस IT करना है, क्यों करना है, मुझे job मिल जाएगी इसलिए. Not because I'm passionate about coding. Why can't we create products like WhatsApp? Because we're not doing it for the passion. We're doing it just because marks आ जाए, engineering, IT, job, America में चला जाऊँ. That's it. I mean, we are not thinking big. We need to start thinking big. वो सब होगा. रोट लर्निंग पे फोकस अपने आप हट जाएगा. People will start learning much beyond the curriculum, and this trend of sending their kids in class 6, 7 to IIT coaching is the most damaging thing parents can do. They are making them very one-dimensional. So I think we need to make our children more multidimensional, expose them to the world, and that's how they live happier lives. That's the goal ultimately. क्यों आप जॉब चाहते हो? Because you want a child to live a happy life. वो मार्क्स से नहीं आने वाला. In fact, you're making them very one-dimensional.
Thank you so much, sir. It was wonderful talking.
All right. Thank you so much for having me.